Hello everyone, James here, and today we'll be talking about episode 7 of 90 Day Fiance's Hunt for Love. In this episode, Jeniffer continues getting called out by the rest of the cast, being called a manipulative gaslighter. Jeniffer tells Cole she needs some space, only to spend the night with Rob again, and we see Cole and Jeniffer finally confront their issues together, and we hear what Cole really thinks about her. Lots to talk about in this episode, so let's get into it. As usual, episode 7 picks up right where episode 6 left off, where Jeniffer was getting called out by the rest of the cast for her two-timing snake behavior. To catch you up real quickly, most of the cast has pieced together that Rob hooked up with some girl a few nights ago at the resort, with a lot of evidence suggesting that that woman was Jeniffer. But while that by itself may be nothing to write home about, the problem is that all that was happening behind Cole's back. Her other romantic love interest, who's been led to believe, is the only person she's interested in. Some of the cast find out about this lie, they go to confront Jeniffer about it, and that's when all hell breaks loose and we catch up with them in episode 7. We see Colt continue his campaign against Rob and Jeniffer, demanding Jeniffer admit all the guys she's sleeping with right now.
Why don't you go through the is that your goal here?
And while I do believe Jeniffer deserves to be called out right now, it is a bit of an unhinged rant from Colt. Not really sure why he's so personally invested in this or how he went 0 to 100 so quickly here. Tim is also witnessing this from Colt and says he's never seen someone flip this quickly into being so mad, but is quite pleased watching his ex be called out in front of everyone.
I gotta be honest, it's really satisfying seeing Jen get called out on her for once. I feel like I'm like the living iteration of the Michael Jackson eating popcorn meme. Like, I'm just loving it.
And after all this public outcry, Jeniffer finally starts defending herself and actually makes some decent points. She argues that she has a right to date anybody here. She's not in a committed relationship, she's not anybody's wife, and she'll continue to be like that until she is in a committed relationship, and then she'll give them loyalty.
We get into a relationship, then I really owe you loyalty.
And while I do agree with that, this is a singles retreat, she's not in a committed relationship, she doesn't owe anybody that level of loyalty, I do think she's kind of misrepresenting the point here. I don't think anyone is calling Jeniffer out for dating two guys at once. That's not the issue here. The real problem, and the reason Jeniffer is being called out right now, is the fact she's a liar. She's been reassuring Cole this whole time that she's primarily interested in him, giving him the attention, giving him the dates, all the while sleeping with Rob behind Cole's back. No one's saying she can't hang out with Rob, or even that she can't sleep with him. The problem is that she's been pitching a certain picture to Cole of how into and emotionally invested she is in him, while lying and misrepresenting the nature of her relationship with Rob. And to be clear, she's not just lying by omission. She isn't just telling Cole that she really likes him while omitting the fact that she also likes Rob. No. On 2 different occasions in their last date together, Jeniffer volunteered herself, without Cole asking, that she's never kissed anyone here. When Cole said he was sad that Jeniffer had her first kiss at the resort with Chantel and not him, she said this.
Sad that she got to kiss you before I did.
Yeah, my first kiss here.
And then the episode before that, when Cole was talking about being in a love triangle with Rob, Jeniffer decided to say, no, you're not in a love triangle because I've never kissed anyone here.
Like, it's not a love triangle yet, you know? Like, I haven't actually kissed, like, any of you both yet.
She wasn't just lying by omission. She decided herself, on multiple occasions, to lie to his face. That's why she's getting called out right now, not for hanging out with two guys when you're not in a committed relationship. So she makes her point about she'll give loyalty when she's in a committed relationship. It's just that right now she's not in a committed relationship. And then Cole jumps in and is like, loyalty? Don't you talk to me about loyalty. And tries calling her out about that. But I mean, if he was paying attention to the context, she was literally saying she doesn't have an obligation to give loyalty right now. But if she was in a committed relationship, then she would give it. So it doesn't really make sense for him to pop up and be like, no, you can't talk about loyalty. You haven't been loyal to me. Like, yeah, that's her point. I think Cole kind of missed the message there. But unfortunately, we don't get to hear him out because as he tries explaining himself to Jeniffer then cuts him off and says,
We had this conversation, but you also admitted you did not.
You are controlling.
I'm not controlling. You're turning this back on.
He's pushing away with his controlling.
which I absolutely agree with. Cole has shown a lot of really troubling, controlling behavior in the past few episodes. But Cole disagrees and accuses Jeniffer of being a gaslighter.
With his controlling.
No, that's gaslighting right there. That's what that is. You're gaslighting.
I don't think any word has been misused in popular culture around relationships more than gaslighter. Maybe narcissist. Anybody who ever disagrees or shows any kind of selfish behavior is a narcissist, according to the internet. To be clear, just so we're on the same page, Actual gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation where the perpetrator will go on a campaign, consciously or not, to systematically undermine their victim's trust and their ability to perceive reality. Someone might say, hey, remember last week when you said that thing to me? And that kind of hurt my feelings. And the manipulator will go, what? That never happened. You were just making things up. What are you talking about? We didn't even go out last week. Or they might say, yeah, I did raise my voice at you, but that was only because you were hitting me and you were making up all these slanderous lies about me. Like you were really freaking out, when in reality, that didn't happen. They tried to make their victim believe that their own memories and perception of things is all messed up, like they're crazy. That's what actual gaslighting is, not what Jennifer is doing here. Seemingly telling Cole that the reason she's not loyal to him is because he's been acting controlling. He claims it's gaslighting because she's turning it back on him.
You're gaslighting. You're turning this back on me.
Which isn't gaslighting. That's something that happens in basically every disagreement you're ever going to have in your life. One person saying, I'm mad at you about this, and then the other person going, well, yeah, but that's because I'm mad at you about this. Like, that's just called arguing. And then explains that he's not controlling.
I'm not controlling you. I'm asking for your honesty.
Oh my God, Cole is such a gaslighter. You see how he's claiming now that he's not controlling? Even though we saw him be controlling before, he's gaslighting her. No, Jennifer wasn't being loyal to him, as she says, because she doesn't feel she has to be loyal to anyone until she's in a committed relationship. She feels even less of a tie to Cole because he's been very controlling towards her. But separate from that, he has also asked her to be honest with him. These are all different issues, and not everyone is a goddamn gaslighter because you two suck at communicating. Jennifer says she needs some space because this is getting out of control. She then yells at Cole in front of everyone, saying that he's just playing the victim and that she doesn't respect that, which I think is kind of rich coming from her. Sure, Cole is kind of playing the victim here, acting like he's being betrayed by his girlfriend and not just some girl he just met 5 days ago. And I want to say that he only has himself to blame for putting her on this goddamn pedestal, but I can't say that when Jennifer keeps hyping him up, saying she's only interested in him while misrepresenting her relationship with Rob. You can't breadcrumb someone, giving them just enough attention to keep them chasing you, and then call them a victim for feeling misled. Colt asks Jennifer directly if she's saying she doesn't respect Cole, and she doubles down, saying she doesn't respect a victim. Rob then steps in to do some kind of damage control, saying that we've only been here a week, nobody should be that upset that someone is hanging out with multiple people at once. Which, again, I don't disagree with, but yet again is misrepresenting the real reason people are upset with Jennifer. And funny enough, Colt actually points out that discrepancy, and then immediately gets hushed.
It's not about hanging out, it's about
Not even listening.
All right, guys, I'm gonna just pause it for a second.
And you keep beating a dead horse, and I already told you.
Man, the one time I really wish people didn't talk over Colt. It's not that hard to understand. People just don't like it. When you tell person A you're only into them and you're not seeing anyone else while sleeping with person B behind person A's back. Like, this is not that hard to get. Doesn't matter if you're in a relationship or not. That's a shitty thing to do. After all this yelling, the dating coaches finally step in and naively remind everybody that the reason they're here is to make genuine connections and to work on your dating skills, not get involved in playing games and spreading rumors. Very well-intentioned on their part, I'm sure, but maybe they weren't given the 90 Day Fiancé memo beforehand. And as the conflict seems to have resolved for now, and we see the cast leave the area, we hear from Tiffany in a one-on-one that she has a hard time believing that Jennifer and Rob slept in the same bed together without any kind of physical contact.
You can just tell me that Rob, the guy that was sucking face with Elise on the first day, almost banged her. This guy did not touch Jen, and Jen did not touch Rob.
Which is quite interesting to hear, because she's implying here that Jennifer made some kind of defense, that maybe she and Rob did hang out at their place, maybe did go to the hot tub or something, and did sleep in the same bed together, but claims that they didn't kiss or hook up in any way. We didn't actually see Jennifer say anything like that in the scene. Maybe she said it off camera or it was cut out for some reason. But if she did say that, then she's not claiming this entire story of hooking up is made up, and instead is claiming something that is, in my opinion, more far-fetched. The cast goes on to do their own thing. Chantel and her man Joe go to a beer spa, where they get in a hot tub of hops, sugar, yeast, all that, and take a beer bath. Sounds fun on paper, but also like a yeast infection waiting to happen. And Usman takes one of the normies, Nikki, out on a date to some healing ritual retreat. He only took Nikki out explicitly to make Cortney jealous, so it was kind of awkward and just another example of Usman being pretty annoying and objectifying. But before the cast goes to bed for the night, we see Cole catch up with Jennifer to talk about what happened earlier.
Hey, Jen, can we talk real quick? Just briefly.
I don't know if he's hoping to apologize to her or hoping she's gonna apologize to him. Not really sure his intention is, but Jennifer tells him straight up that she doesn't really want to talk to him. She said she wants to take some space from him right now and offers that maybe tomorrow, with the help of one of the professional dating coaches, they can talk about what happened, because right now she's not in a good mood and leaves Cole there on the sidewalk.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Night.
See ya.
But before she goes back to her room, she tells us in a one-on-one, again, that she doesn't feel it's very fair for everyone to be judging her as if she's doing something wrong when all she's doing is meeting up and getting to know people. I don't know if she's just playing dumb at this point, pretending like she doesn't understand what people are saying. Because even if she really didn't hook up with Rob at this point, and that really was a producer trick, or that happened later down the line, she still heard people say multiple times it's about the sex. So you'd think if she was truly innocent, she would either be saying, this is all rumors, it's not true, or that it is true, it's just not anyone's business. Why just ignore the criticism? That doesn't make her sound very innocent, in my opinion. She also compares Rob and Cole, saying they're two complete opposites.
Like I wanna Rob and I wanna marry Cole.
As if it can't get any more embarrassing for Cole. We have the bad boy Rob. He's good at flirting.
He's kind of toxic, manipulative, swaggy.
And he's the guy she wants to fuck. But then you have Cole. Sweet little puppy dog, head over heels Cole.
Cole is like super focused on Jen and just chasing her like a little puppy.
Who's 100% committed and will do anything for Jennifer. And he's just marriage material. A very classic nice guys finish last kind of story. But I will point out for any disheartened guys in the audience, statistically I believe there's about 4 of you, that for one, even if the nice guys finish last story is true for some people, you don't really care if it's true for someone like Jen. That's not the kind of person you want to go after anyway. You're not going to be treated the best. Secondly, another important thing to remember also for the ladies out there, Cole isn't a nice guy. Yes, he seems completely committed to Jennifer and frequently treats himself like a doormat, but that doesn't mean he's nice. He's also controlling, shown a lot of toxic behavior before, and needing to control someone and see them as someone messed up for you to save, that is also objectifying. We catch up again with the rest of the cast, who's out socializing together at a bar. Joe, Chantel, Nikki, and Usman are all back from their dates. Joe and Chantel are happy. Usman and Nikki are not that happy. Usman tries courting Cortney in a very love-bomby kind of toxic way. We'll talk about them in another video.
You're beautiful. I will beg you, and I'm so happy to beg a woman that I love to be with. You're my queen, you know that. You're beautiful.
But then we see, at the end of the night, the two people who were mysteriously absent from the socializing, Rob and Jennifer, are back together again, hanging out in Jennifer's room. We don't see the two of them hooking up explicitly, but Rob is dressed in his PJs and Jennifer looks like she maybe just got out of the shower or the hot tub or something, and the two of them are very clearly having a good time together. Man, of course she's back with Rob right now. Just to remind you all on the timeline, on the first day, Jennifer meets both Rob and Cole for the first time. Remember, she didn't know who Rob was before, even though they're both 90 Day alumni. She then goes on a date with Cole and is mostly vibing with him until he acts like a controlling maniac, and then she goes to Rob and gets all close to him right in front of Cole. She then allegedly hooks up with Rob that night, but then chooses to go on a date with Cole the next day, and according to the show, hooks up with him that night. Then she goes to the social media thing and starts flirting with Rob again, and we see her with Rob again for yet another night together in her room. At this point, I think the pattern is pretty well established, and if it continues, I'm guessing Jennifer will find some reason to spend the next 24 hours with Cole, and maybe we'll even see Cole join her again in her room tomorrow night. Who knows? But the night ends, we don't see any hookup happen on screen at least, and the next day actually starts off exactly how I predicted, with Jennifer and Cole together seeing a dating coach to discuss their issues. The coach starts off by asking how the two of them are feeling after the very public arguments they had yesterday, and Jennifer tells us that the whole ordeal was very revealing to her, and feel like she's only just now understanding how the general public seems to perceive her. She tells us in a one-on-one that this whole thing made her reevaluate a lot of things, and she realizes just how safe she feels around him. Him being Rob. She realized Rob really doesn't enjoy being in the center of drama and does his best to avoid it, and he makes Jen feel very safe being herself around him. But she also realized that she's always felt more of a pull towards Cole. And if that's true, man, Jennifer is a very hard person to understand. Because she says here that Rob makes her feel safe, and she feels very comfortable with him, and yet she's more attracted and interested in Cole. Okay, fair enough, but she also just said last night that Rob is the kind of person she wants to bang, and Cole's the kind of person she wants to marry. So she's more attracted to one guy, and the other guy she feels more safe and comfortable around, but she wants to bang the safe and comfortable guy, and marry the guy she's more attracted to, but also that guy is seen as the nice guy, and she feels more safe and comfortable around the bad boy. Like, what is going on here? Is she playing us the same way she's playing both of them? Like, what is with the mixed signals here? Jeniffer tells the dating coach that she's pretty irritated with everyone making assumptions on what must be going on with her sex life. People assuming that if they don't see Jeniffer and Rob in the same room, then they must be off somewhere having sex, and she doesn't like the whole gossip mill, which I think is totally reasonable. But is she really characterizing everything everyone's been saying as equally high school level gossip? Because Tiffany and Carlos said they heard Rob having sex with a woman from Jennifer's room. I mean, that's not really the same thing as, oh, Jennifer and Rob, they're not here. I bet they're over in the corner, Kissing. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the same level of gossip, I think. She reiterates again to the dating coach and in front of Cole that she doesn't think it's fair for everyone to judge her.
We are here to meet new people. I don't feel it's okay to judge me because I'm doing that.
Again, that's not why people are criticizing her. And Cole tells us that, of course, he doesn't enjoy seeing Jennifer date other people, but the real issue is they seem to have two different perspectives. He says Jennifer has the perspective of trying to meet and date everybody, while he has only one singular interest, Jennifer. Jennifer tells the dating coach, not Cole, Cole just sits there while she faces and looks at the dating coach only throughout this conversation, that she's definitely picked up that Cole is starting to develop more strong feelings towards her, but she also feels like Cole is pushing it a little bit too much, and maybe sort of kinda getting super jealous and controlling. She actually then opens up a little and says that she has a pretty rough dating history of being with highly controlling and jealous men that would always put her in a cage. She says she hasn't been allowed to leave her house before. Her exes would govern what she could wear, who she could talk to, that kind of thing. And because of all those previous experiences, she's very sensitive to picking up on these kind of vibes. Because she tells us directly here in a one-on-one that she has seen these red flags in Cole since the very beginning. It just so happens to be that he also seems to have a lot of good qualities in him that she likes, and that's why she's currently conflicted on whether or not she should continue to pursue Cole or respect the red flags and ditch his loser ass behind. It's very interesting to hear her say that, because not only can that help us better understand her mindset and her perspective on things, but at least in this case, I wonder if maybe Jennifer might have actually picked up on some of these red flags with Cole early on, and that might be the thing that is attracting her. In a previous video I made on the two of them, I floated the idea out there that some of Cole's behavior feels reminiscent to that of someone that could have grown up with a possibly abusive father figure, that could have abused women or maybe even his mother in his early life. And that in those kind of scenarios, sometimes the boy, the would-be Cole, might grow up feeling a certain kind of hatred towards someone that looks like their dad and acts like their dad in an overt physical way, but they still subconsciously pick up some general themes around control and dominance. Maybe Cole isn't the physical, aggressive, yelling type, but he may have still inherited a great amount of emotional insecurity and messaging around being a dominant man in the relationship. And going along with that hypothesis, again, who knows about Cole himself, just in theory, it could make sense then for someone in Jennifer's position who similarly sees a lot of red flags in overtly controlling kind of men, might then see a guy like Cole, where she might subconsciously perceive some of those similar feelings of dominance and control and be attracted to that, at least on a subconscious level, but higher up in a conscious level, she's able to recognize, similar to Cole, that at least on the surface, he's not the physical, yelly, violent kind of guy that they both might have had more experience with. You see what I'm getting at here? Again, this is total armchair psychologist James here. But when I've been pointing out the inconsistencies, where she feels safe with one guy, but she's into the other, but she wants to marry that guy, but she wants to bang the guy she's safe with, the safe guy that's the bad guy that's not actually the bad, and all this confusing stuff, I could imagine her being conflicted in her perceptions around Cole, and that might be leading to some of the confusion we're seeing from her. I don't know, maybe I just like hearing myself talk, and maybe she's just good at playing everybody, including me, for the camera, and has no real emotional or mental consistencies to her. Who knows? She tells the dating coach and Cole again that yes, she did go out with Rob, but nothing happened, no sexual activity, no kissing, no nothing. And the dating coach concludes that it sounds like the two of them need to work on managing their expectations together. It's good advice, but does remind me of a comment I read on my last video that pointed out that a few episodes ago, when Cole kinda confronted Jennifer about the night where he got really controlling and she flipped on him and started being with Rob, that Cole concluded his conversation with Jennifer by promising that if anything was bothering him, he would tell Jennifer and that Jennifer should do the same to Cole. I kind of mocked that at the time because it sounded like Cole was just saying that to sound like a good guy without it coming from any kind of genuine place. And then we saw last episode when he felt like Jennifer was two-timing him and sleeping with Rob behind his back, he did not go to Jennifer and instead went to Rob to talk about it. Just another example of Cole being pretty inconsistent and maybe a little bit virtue signally in his attempt to appear like a nice guy. But it's funny again to hear the dating coach say that they need to manage their expectations and communicate when Cole has proclaimed that that's what he's all about, even when we see he hasn't actually followed through with that. And when asked where Cole is at with Jeniffer right now, he tells us this.
I came here with the intention of giving my all to the person I felt deserved it, and that happens to be Jeniffer. So my intention, until she tells me otherwise, is to commit to Jeniffer.
Which, given everything we've seen for the past few episodes, I want to make fun of Cole for. But I think there's no problem with going to a singles retreat and immediately finding the one person you want to talk to there and putting all your eggs in that basket. If he wants to do that, that's fine. Maybe you think he should rethink that decision, given what we've seen of Jennifer's character at this point. But, that's on him. And Jeniffer tells us that, hearing all that,
It's beautiful.
she gets all gushy and seems happy to hear all that. But before she can properly respond and say what that means for the two of them, if she's going to stop saying Rob, does this mean she's committed to Cole? The scene gets interrupted when everyone in the cast hears some ambulance nearby, and the episode ends on a stupid cliffhanger around who's on the stretcher getting carted off in an ambulance right now, and are they okay? I hate it when the show does this shit. We're going to have all this juicy drama on the dating show, and then they're using someone's potential health concern as a cliffhanger to get you to keep clicking. I think that's just very low class of them. Anyway, fuck TLC. And with that, the episode ends. That's all I got for today's video. Let me know what you thought about Rob, Jen, and Cole in the comments down below. Do you think Jeniffer is just lying about everything here? Is she going back and forth between the two guys just to mess with the two of them or to mess with us, the audience? Or do you think she might be kind of a lying, a little bit of a piece of shit kind of person, but we may also see her be genuinely trying to work through some of her emotional and attachment related issues? Let me know what you think in the comments below. A big thank you to all of your channel members, with an extra special thank you to my producer, Nancy Jones. Also, apologies if this video sounds a little funny or seems a little scripted together. This is the first video I'm making in a totally new video editing software, so it might end up being kind of crap. So thanks for your patience. And until next time, I'll see you later.